This lesson explains how health and safety management systems work. It will show you how to develop the procedures and records to maintain a safe workplace and demonstrate it to your customers. Let's say you're the health and safety manager in a factory that just had a customer assessment. It found major gaps in the documentation of the factory's health and safety management system and a number of safety issues. The general manager has asked you to review the management system and correct the shortcomings. After doing some research, you find that OHSAS 18001 and ISO 45001 are common standards for health and safety management systems. Both standards are more complex than the systems you currently use to manage quality and human resources. Your manager is concerned that they'll be too expensive. What could you say? Getting certified can help you improve your system, but even a simple management system can make your workplace safer and meet customer requirements. It doesn't need to be any more complex than your quality management system. In fact, some companies integrate both systems and put the same people in charge. The effort you put into your management system pays off. Unmonitored conditions put you at risk of costly accidents, government penalties, customer interventions, and good employees leaving to work in safer companies. Managing safety well builds your reputation with customers, saves you time during assessments, and makes your company a safer place for all employees. A company's health and safety management system is the set of procedures it uses to identify and control hazards. It might look like a binder full of documents, but the procedures in that binder guide the actions of everyone in the company. Policies make health and safety the top priority. Procedures show how to do each job safely and who's responsible for what. Communication and training ensures everyone knows how and why to follow safety procedures. Monitoring finds and fixes unsafe practices and conditions. And documentation puts all your procedures and records in writing so your employees and customers can see how your system works. Let's see what's involved in each of these parts, starting with policy. Let's say you're talking with the general manager about developing a health and safety policy. You'll write a short statement that the company is committed to providing a safe workplace and meeting the requirements of your customers and the law. She asks you how a short policy can make the workplace safer. How could you explain it? Welcome to this lesson on managing fire safety. By the end of this lesson, you'll learn how to identify fire hazards in your facility, reduce risks from electrical, hot work, and chemical handling, ensure that your facility and workers are well prepared to deal with a fire emergency, identify frequent requirements for fire safety from international clients. Terrence is the manager of Best Preserves, a canning facility in Jilin, China. In the morning before work, he reads an article about a devastating fire at a local poultry processing facility. On June 3, 2013, an explosion occurred and the facility caught fire. Workers, most of them women, ran for the exits, but found most of them locked, trapping the panicked crowds in the burning building, killing 119 people. Such an unbelievable tragedy, he thinks. Surely it could have been averted if only they'd left the emergency doors open, as they're supposed to do. The facility must have been poorly managed to have allowed this to happen. He is proud that he runs a much tighter ship. Arriving at the factory, he walks across the production floor, then pauses in front of one of the emergency exits. He turns the handle and, to his surprise, finds the door locked. When he confronts the production manager, he gets the explanation. Workers had been using the emergency exits to slip out for unauthorized smoke breaks, so they locked them. Of course, he explains, in the event of an evacuation, they'd unlock the exit so workers could leave. Some might suppose that basic fire safety practices are obvious and assume that their facilities are observing them. However, as Terrence found, it's easy to overlook one area or another, and the risks of even a small error in fire safety can be catastrophic. How should he respond to this issue? Inform the production manager that all emergency exits must be open at all times. Ensure that all supervisors carry keys to the emergency exits in the event of an evacuation. Conduct a fire risk assessment to ensure that such safety lapses are prevented. Welcome to the Effective Chemical Management eLearning course. By the end of this course, you'll understand the purpose and prerequisites of a chemical management system, be familiar with the key types of hazardous chemicals, and know the 3 main stages for establishing a chemical management system in your facility. Meet Tarek, the Health and Safety Manager at Silkmaid Materials, based in Bangladesh. Silkmaid makes clothes for clothing companies all over the world. Today is one of the worst days of Tarek's career. He's just returned from the hospital after visiting 20 workers who became very ill after being exposed to toxic fumes that were emitted by the chemical formaldehyde, which is used to make clothing wrinkle-resistant. Tarek now has to answer to the head of procurement for their biggest client, All Clothes. All Clothes was unaware that Silkmaid was even using formaldehyde in its chemical processes, and has put all orders on hold until Silkmaid improves its health and safety and environmental practices. Tarek's wondering what he could have done to prevent this accident. Chemical incidents are one of the most hazardous health and safety issues facing factory managers today. While chemicals are used all the time in all different types of manufacturing processes, poor chemical management can cause irreversible harm to people and the environment. What are chemicals? Chemicals are found in all sorts of useful products, such as cleaning solutions, plastics, electronics, clothes, paints, and even the food we eat. Chemicals can exist in solid, liquid, or gas form. This course is focused specifically on the management of hazardous chemicals. What do you think we mean by hazardous chemicals? Chemicals that can cause serious health and environmental harm. Chemicals that are deemed unsafe by the International Body on Chemicals. Chemicals that can be disposed of with other normal waste products. Nazir is the new environmental manager at Silkmaid Materials, a clothing manufacturer. A recent chemical exposure incident at Silkmaid sent 20 of their workers to the hospital. The workers had been exposed to toxic fumes from the chemical formaldehyde, which they were using to make clothes wrinkle-resistant. As a result of the incident, Silkmaid's largest customer, All Clothes, has put all orders on hold until Silkmaid improves its health and safety and environmental practices. Nazir was hired shortly after the incident to get the factory's environmental management system in order. Today is Nazir's first day, and his first meeting is with Saeed, the factory's general manager, and Tarek, the health and safety manager. Saeed is under intense pressure to get All Clothes back as a customer, and he expects Nazir to lead this effort. Silkmaid's customers are demanding they put in place a system that goes beyond managing exposure to chemical fumes. The new system should track and manage all air pollutants that could harm the workers and the environment. Nazir's team doesn't know much about emissions management. Where do you think Nazir should start? Hello, welcome to Improving Your Dormitories e-learning lesson. This lesson will help you to learn strategies to responsibly manage factory dormitories. By the end of this lesson, you'll learn good practices in providing livable, clean, and safe dormitory environments. Understand basic rights of workers who are living in factory-managed dormitories. Learn good practices in staffing the ongoing management of dormitories. Research has shown that living conditions are a key worker concern. Crowded and unsanitary dormitories rank high on the list of worker grievances. In fact, companies can reduce worker turnover simply by improving their dormitory conditions. In addition, many global brands have put in place codes of conduct regarding dormitory conditions and expect their suppliers to comply. Violations can lead to worker health and safety risks and reputational damage. There's no question that responsible dormitory management is just good business. Let's see what lessons we can learn from ReadyWare experience about responsible dormitory management. Janet arrives a day before work starts. The orientation supervisor shows her to her dorm room. Each room has 3 triple bunk beds with 9 workers to a room. Women and men are on separate floors, and there's 1 shared locker per room. Janet starts to put away her clothes in the bin in the closet that's assigned to her. Do you think the dorm arrangement at ReadyWare is acceptable practice? Select which practices need improvement.